Hi, I'm Janet Pacala. I work here at Columbus Elementary School. I arrived on a Monday morning, and I was in my room working when I heard our head librarian calling for me. It was about 7:10 in the morning, and she was calling and asking me to call 911. When I arrived in the room, I found our coworker unconscious and not breathing. I called 911 requesting EMS. Once I was done with that, I went around behind the desk and we lowered her to the floor so that we could start CPR. That's when Karin arrived, and Karin started compressions.
I'm Karin Westlake. I'm the Dean of Students here at the elementary school. Heard the call for immediate assistance in the library at 7:10 and realized that something was really wrong. So ran down, and when I got into the library, saw them lowering our coworker to the floor, and realized by her color and that she wasn't really breathing that something was really wrong. And so it was just like, knew what to do. I started compressions. And
I was doing sternum rubs, hoping to get her to respond, but we did not.
We then, I believe at that time, said get an AED. Someone ran and got the AED for us, and began continued compressions. At that time, Officer Kelly Towne came in and asked if I wanted to be relieved from the compressions. Are you tired? And I said, yes, that'd be great. So she took over compressions, and we had everything pretty much set, ready to give her the shock with the AED, and the EMS came in the door and said, we'll take over. So at that time, then they took over.
For me, it was just a natural response, just to jump in and help. I knew she was in distress, and our training tells us what to do. So it was just natural to jump in. And as of right now, weeks later, our coworker is doing great. We talk to her frequently, and we are so happy.
Hello, I'm Officer Kelly Towne, and I work for the City of Columbus. I've been a police officer in Columbus for 17.5 years. On this day, I was in my squad car when I overheard an EMS page over my radio for a female that was down at the Columbus Elementary School. I grabbed the AED out of the back of my squad car and ran into the school. When I got into the school, I saw several staff members standing over a female victim. We also did several rounds of CPR with myself and the staff of the elementary school until Lifesaving, which is our emergency medical services, their paramedics arrived and took over for us. Once they arrived there, they handled most of the medical portion of it when I'm on an EMS scene. So EMS took over and eventually transported to the hospital, and I found out later that the victim had survived. And there was one day also I stopped home for lunch, and I was leaving, and I saw her and her husband walking, and she looked at me, and I say her name, and we both just started crying and embraced each other, and she thanked me, and I was just so happy to know that I'd actually done something, and this was one that really got me, and was, I guess, emotional, and it was good to see her and talk to her and know that she was going to be okay.
Hi, my name is Beth. I am the proud principal of the Columbus Elementary School. So our building response team members are trained through the hospital by the American Red Cross training, and that training helps us prepare in situations when needed. We would be able to be trained to use CPR and the AEDs and the things that we have in our school system to help support in case of a need. I found out about the situation by receiving a phone call that morning and ran to the library and saw my building emergency response team responding totally appropriately, and were able to initiate all the things that they needed to do before the EMTs were able to arrive. And we were actually given kudos by the EMTs saying that the emergency response team had done such a wonderful job getting all of the things ready for them and taking care of what they needed to do to help support that employee that we had. And after making a phone call to the superintendent multiple times that day and her coming back, being able to come to the staff and help them understand that even though a very tricky, very tough situation happened in our school, that the response that we had made a difference, and it really did. And that's why that nomination came through, because our staff members truly made a difference in someone's life.